Welcome back, everyone. The fight against wildfires has intensified across the western United States as days of hot, dry, windy weather fuel flames in places like Utah and in Colorado. And according to the local media there, more than 100,000 acres have been destroyed as those fires scorch parts of the state.
Now, the Texas Division of Emergency Management is deploying some emergency personnel to Colorado to try to help with the ongoing response to these wildfires. And joining us today is Wes Rapaport, Chief of Media and Communications at the Texas Division of Emergency Management, here to give us some insight into what this deployment really looks like. Wes, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, good to be with you.
So Texas has deployed what are called voluntary action liaisons. So explain what those folks do and why are they such an important part of disaster response?
Yeah, thanks, Avery. So the voluntary agency liaisons are part of our program here at TDEM called the Incident Support Task Force. And so what those personnel through this program are able to support with is focusing on the voluntary agency aspect of a response, coordinating with local mass care partners who are working on sheltering and feeding and those on-the-ground operations, ensuring that state emergency management officials have the resources that they need to stay organized when it comes to coordination with voluntary organizations and coordination with those community-based organizations, faith-based organizations. So a lot of that work involves just being a force multiplier and being a subject matter expert that can help connect dots and help the community rebuild more quickly. But also a key component of this is supporting donations management and supporting feeding operations if necessary, helping to just track any needs that need to be met and help identify what resources they may need to continue to call in at that state or local level in Colorado.
Yeah, Wes, I think a lot of people think, wildfires and they think firefighters, right? There's a lot more to that when it comes to deployment that you just mentioned about coordinating the volunteers, the donations, the organizing. Explain a little bit more how that really does help communities recover.
Yeah, there's so much that happens behind the scenes. And so we think, when there's a deployment or when there's a wildfire, that you're going to see firefighters from all over the country descend on a community to try and help. And that is what happens in lots of cases. But really one of the key components of our ability here in Texas to be able to send a resource out like this is a behind the scenes type resource that is helping in the emergency operations center at the local or state level, providing that on the ground support. And the reality is that a Coloradan may not ever see this person providing that support, but what they're doing behind the scenes is so critically important to help coordinate resources, to help relieve personnel that have been working 12, 24, 48-hour shifts, to help provide that subject matter expertise and ensure that the community can respond quickly and recover quickly.
Wes, explain a little bit for people about why Texas responds to these kinds of calls for help. This isn't the first time you all have sent crews like this.
Well, Texans know all too well the effects of wildfire across our state, right? In all parts of the state is susceptible to wildfire in some form or fashion, and we've seen that play out. And so it is a critical part of the relationships that we have with these other states that, when we have a wildfire that requires other states to come assist us, we raise up that flag and say, hey, can someone help us? And they help answer the call. And so it's our turn to answer the call this time and provide that support for another state that needs help, knowing that when it becomes our turn, we know that we can lean on those partners to provide support for us as well.
Yeah, can you talk a little bit about that before we let you go, about how, when you go to parts of the country and you help out, the lessons that Texans learn that they can bring back and benefit other states as well?
Yeah, it's really important that we maintain relationships and maintain that connectivity. A lot of these deployments are born out of the relationships that are built in other incidents or in other disasters. And so as those relationships are developed and we become established as an organization that can provide this kind of support, word gets around, and then when the need comes in for voluntary agency support or mass care support or assistance with donations management, they know that they can call the state of Texas and they know that they can call TDEM, and that if we have those resources available and we can spare them to provide that support, we'll answer that call. And what better way to honor America's 250th birthday than to be able to support our fellow Americans during this holiday weekend.
Absolutely, and very cool to see states working together through this partnership, this compact. One last question for you, Wes. I think we'd be remiss to talk about wildfires elsewhere without talking about some of the, just really difficult situations Texas itself has seen. You mentioned there over the last few years. Are there any specific lessons that your agency has learned that you hope to bring with you to a place like Colorado when you go and go on these deployments?
Yeah, part of what is great about our ability to be able to have these partnerships is those lessons and are those capabilities. We hope that we're able to share with the folks in Colorado the expertise that our folks have here in Texas, and to be able to provide the capability of donations management, recommendations on how to support mass feeding operations, and organization of resources and resource tracking. And quite frankly, sometimes every incident's a little bit different, right? And so, we take what we know, we take what we can learn, and see what may be applicable onto the next disaster. But by regular deployment of these personnel, whether that's in-state or out of state to other places, we can continue to develop those tools, continue to hone in on those skills, and make sure that we're looking out for each other, both here in Texas and beyond.
Wes Rapaport with the Texas Division of Emergency Management, thank you so much for the work that your agency is doing to help our friends up in Colorado. We appreciate it.
Thanks. Y'all be safe.
You too.